Justin Fields has seemingly gone from the hot seat to the spotlight. He's completely changed the trajectory of the Chicago Bears franchise and the outlook of their future. I want to take a look at previous quarterbacks that he might compare to and see if we can figure out how he's made this jump. Like and subscribe, and let's get into it. So, if I were to describe Justin Fields based on the skill set of other quarterbacks, I think you could take attributes from three main players. First, his pocket presence and escapability reminds me of Randall Cunningham. The number of times, especially in the Eagles days, you'd see Cunningham twist and turn, dodging defensive linemen, and then launch a ball downfield to a wide-open receiver was absolutely amazing. You fully expected it at least once per drive. Fields has the same ability to dodge the grasp of defenders and keep his head downfield. What changes for him, though, is his running style. To me, he runs like Colin Kaepernick. Once there's a lane available, he just takes off. He won't dance around long, he isn't juking players in space, he's just flat out running away from the defense. Straight line speed and good size are his weapons in the run game. Lastly, his passing ability. To me, he's very similar to Atlanta Falcons' Mike Vick. Vick completed 54% of his passes while in Atlanta with an average of 12.2 yards per completion. Fields is at almost 59% completion percentage and averaging 12.2 yards per completion this season. Beyond the stats though, there's a very similar look, although reverse image, to their throwing motion. It's a quick release, and if they miss high. The offenses they run are very similar as well, with lots of play action and one read then run type plays. With the evolution of the NFL game, there are more RPOs and design runs for Fields, but I think he matches Vick's passing level from his time with the Falcons. Before I move on to how he has improved so much, let me know in the comments who else you think he has in his game. So, before we talk about how amazing Justin Fields has been in the last 5 games, we have to acknowledge how bad he was prior to this stretch. In Justin Fields' rookie season, starting in 10 games, he completed 58.9% of his passes, which is not bad and hasn't improved, for 1,870 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. 187 yards per game with less than 1 touchdown and exactly 1 interception per game. In those 10 games, he ran 72 times for 420 yards and 2 touchdowns. Not bad, but not a quarterback that teams are game planning for. 42 yards per game isn't earning you a consistent quarterback spy and dropping safeties into the box. This season began quite similarly up until the Washington game, where I feel like he started to figure some things out in the second half. He was averaging 38.8 yards rushing and 135 yards passing per game before that. In those first 5 games, he also threw for 3 touchdowns and rushed for 1. Now let's look at the most recent 5 games, which includes a lackluster performance against the Commanders. He is averaging 162 yards passing and 111 yards rushing. He's averaging 20 more yards per game than Nick Chubb, the leading rusher in the NFL, and oh yeah, a running back. He's also rushed for 5 touchdowns and thrown 9 in this stretch. The team went from averaging 17 points per game in the first 5 games to 26 in the last 5. Now, what happened? I think the first and biggest change is the play calling. The first 5 games, the Bears averaged 17 pass attempts per game. In the last 5, they're averaging almost 24 pass attempts. The crazy thing about this is with the added attempts, Fields' completion percentage has gone up from 53% to 61%. He's rising to the occasion. The coaching staff seems to have just decided to place more trust in Fields. He increased his rushing attempts slightly as well, going from 8.4 attempts per game up to 12.4. The yards per rushing attempt increased massively from approximately 4.8 yards per carry up to 8.7. So how does this happen? From watching some film and looking at the numbers, to me it tells a story of defenses having to respect Fields. In the first 5 games with the team averaging 17 pass attempts per game, they knew that there was greater than a 50% chance that it was a run play, so they stacked the box and dared the Bears to call a pass. Fields faced constant pressure and did his best to escape, but was often dragged down near the line of scrimmage. More recently, the offensive attack is calling more pass plays with quick reads, and of those pass plays, about 20% of them turn into Fields scrambles for big gains. The pressure isn't able to get to Fields, and the defense can't stack the box for risk of getting beat over the top or across the middle. Fields' confidence is growing, and despite the passing numbers not being there, I think they found a formula that can work. Granted, despite these improved numbers, they're still 1-4 in the last 5 games, but you can see that the Bears are becoming a team you don't want to play late in the season with the playoffs on the line. I believe they'll add another talented skill player, fix the O-line, and improve the defense in the offseason, and become a competitive group in 2023. Thanks so much for watching. If you made it this far, hopefully you'll like the video and subscribe to the channel. Let me know your player comparisons in the comments, and I'll see y'all next time.